Hello, everybody. This is Pyra, and we just got news finally about the Moogle Treasure Trove, the next Moogle Treasure Trove that is going to lead us to patch 7.3. So this time around, the Moogle Treasure Trove is the Hunt for Allegory, and this is going to take place from Tuesday, July 8th at 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and run all the way to the release of patch 7.3. And if you've been keeping up with the news, maybe up with my podcast, you'll know that August 5th is really the projected date for patch 7.3. All we know as a concrete is that they've said early August. However, with everybody calculating based on previous experience, August 5th is probably the date that we can expect this new patch. Now, going through what Moogle Treasure Trove is, if you are new to Moogle Treasure Trove, as well as what rewards we have for everybody, you collect irregular tomestones and you turn them in for rare items. So this is a special event that has been taking place pretty much in the weeks leading up to a new major patch, and there's no huge schedule. There are some scheduled things that we'll look at below, but there are rewards, some new items, as well as some items that may have been locked behind, say, an extreme trial or some other type of content, and you do certain instances to get these irregular tomestones that you can then trade this itinerant Moogle for some cool stuff. So that is the kind of very basic surface level of it. And of course, they're going to show a few of the items here. This one, this coffee cup at the very left, is the newest one. This is usually the highest tier item. They have some weird, quirky earring, and this year it's the Ishgardian coffee cup, which I just think is fabulous. Of course, we have a Ruby Gwibber right here, which I believe is from Ruby Weapon, and a minion. So we'll look down at everything, the event overview, how to participate, and items awarded. So again, event is taking place from Tuesday, July 8th at 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time up through the release of patch 7.3. Of course, if the patch is definitely on August 5th, which we're not 100% sure yet, and if they do have any maintenance period leading up to that, you have to finish whatever you're going to do before the end of that maintenance period, just because that's kind of when it'll end. So keep that in mind. How to participate in the Moogle Treasure Troves. You'll have this Mogpendium that you can access. It's a special item in your inventory, and this will show you everything that you can do in order to get these irregular tomestones. And this time, it is the irregular tomestones of Allegory. Every time that they do another one of these events, you get a different type of a regular tomestone. So whatever you did in the last Moogle Treasure Trove is not going to count towards this Moogle Treasure Trove. Number 2, you have 4 different ways to acquire irregular tomestones, and you can choose the objectives that suit your style. So there's standard, weekly, mini-mog, and ulti-mog. Standard objectives, you can do them over and over again. So these are going to kind of stay the entire time. As it shows you here, it could be Copied Factory, Puppet's Bunker, the Tower at Paradigm's Breach for Alliance Raid series. There could be more dungeons, some fishing, ocean fishing, some gold saucer things like gates, and any of those that you do, you could just continue to repeat and get the irregular tomestones at any time. However, they do note here the irregular tomestones will not be awarded if you're using the Squadrons or Duty Support system, aka the Trust system, and irregular tomestone rewards are only available to unrestricted parties if the level sync option is applied. In order to get these irregular tomestones in ocean fishing, you also must score at least 2,000 points. There is no getting on the boat and then just sitting there and AFKing. You actually have to fish in order to get your irregular tomestones. So that is standard objectives. Weekly objectives, this is a once a week type of special thing. You'll get an extra amount of tomestones for these, so you typically won't have too many options. However, if you do it, you get even more regular tomestones in these weekly objectives. Update every Tuesday at the normal reset time at 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mini Mog challenges, these are also a once a week thing. And you get 2 options. So you get this or that, and you have to pick one of those and complete it in order to get those extra tomestones. Again, the same reset timer on Tuesday. And these things can include hunts, they can include fates, they can include fishing, they can include triple triad, they can include maps. So you have at least a handful of options, and they will give you 2 a week, and then just say, if you do one of these, you get the irregular tomestones. So that is a good extra chunk of change. And then the final category is the Ultimog Challenge. This is once per event. So this is a whopping lot of tomestones, and you have to do it once. Only once, but it's usually a bigger, kind of a little bit more harder challenge. And once you do it once, you get a big whopping pile of tomestones, and you were good to go. And so how do you get your regular tomestones? From the standard objectives, they'll just pop right into your inventory right away. You don't have to do anything. However, for any of the challenges, you have to claim your rewards. So once you do them, you open your Mogpenium back up, and this button right here where it says claim rewards, you have to press it in order to get it from your inventory. Rewards for, like I said, weekly objectives, Mini-Mog, and Ultimog must be claimed in this way. And then if for some reason you do not claim your rewards on the Mogpenium by patch 7.35, so after the event has ended, you will be unable to claim this. So that is when it locks. And the final step here is to seek out itinerant Moogles and exchange irregular tomestones for items. So you farmed your tomestones. Where do you turn them in? You're going to find one of these 3 itinerant Moogles. I mean, you could technically go to all 3 of them if you really want, but these guys just hang out constantly 24/7 in Limsa, New Gridania, and Ul'dah Steppes of Nald, and you go find one of them. So this is what they look like. These are their locations. They're not that far from each of the zones aetheryte, so you've probably seen them before. Around the time of these events, there will be a bunch of people hanging around them, so if you see a mob, probably them. And you go to them, and you can exchange these irregular tomestones in order to get an item of your choice, or the items of your choice. The item exchanges will be available until the release of patch 7.4, and you will be unable to claim rewards via the Mogpenium after release of 7.35. And so that's how you do all the things. And now here are some of the items you can get. There are a lot. We're not going to go over every one, but pretty much there are rewards from literally level 1 not level 1. You see, I could need my caffeine this morning. There are rewards that you can redeem 1 irregular tomestone for, all the way up to 100. 100 is the maximum. And that's that coffee cup earring that we looked at earlier. It is purely a cosmetic earring. There are no stats. I mean, technically 1 magic and 1 defense, if that really suits your fancy. But it's just a cool little collectible. That's kind of all this is. Return to Oblivion Orchestrion roll is also going to be a 100 tomestone requirement. This is definitely a highly sought after Orchestrion roll, IMO. We have some more earrings. We have two mounts up here at the 50 level or higher. The Ruby Gwibber, this is what you would get from Ruby Weapon Extreme. So if you are not going through the extremes, or if you're trying to catch up on some content, that's a really good one. The Iron Frog Mover, this is from Shadowbringers, and this is kind of like a special fate mount that you would have to get. So if you're finding a really hard time going back into that older content, then this is a good way to get the Iron Frog Mover mount. Of course, we have Modern Aesthetics, Gear Abanian Plate. We have some minions, Bardings. Fist Pump. If you need overzealous affirmations, that's only 30 tomestones, parasols. And then for mounts, we have the Drake Horn, the Direwolf Whistle, the Reveling Kamui, and the Blissful Kamui. So a bit of Stormblood and a Realm Reborn mounts that you can take from here. There will be housing items, more minions. The gear of choice this time is the Neo Ishgardian tops. This is honestly one of my favorite, these are one of my favorite glam pieces in the whole game. I wear the casting top constantly still. I love this set. So a really good set and a really good way to get the set if you're just looking for glam, or if you were at that level 80 point and this may be your best in slot gear. At least at the time, maybe not best in slot, but so, you know, this is a good gear option for you. If you are somebody who likes the summer vibes, the Moonfire Vest, Halter, Tanga, and Trunks will be available. That's been out for quite a while. And then, of course, we go into maps, so seemingly special time-worn maps. These will give you a guaranteed portal into the different map zones. Riding maps, if you wanted to have an extra speed while on ground level in these zones. Of course, we're going to get some triple triad cards, another minion, another orchestrion roll, earring, etc. So a lot of stuff. I could have listed all of them and talked about them in full, but I think that's a little bit too much. If I'm looking at this and my opinion, what I think is the best, I think anything 50 and above is going to be, if you don't have it, this is a great place to get it, unless you're looking to farm that type of content by regular means. After that, I kind of cherry pick things that I don't have from lower levels. If I have pretty much all of this, with which being a player of the game for over 10 years now, I do. Another thing that I like to sink my time into is these MGP Platinum cards. I still always can find uses for MGP. These end up giving you 50,000 MGP per card, which is at 30 of these irregular tombstones. So if nothing else, if I get every single item that I don't have, these platinum cards are a really good way, or a really good thing to stock up on. And of course, these time-worn maps as well. If you're someone who likes to do a map party, you like to test your luck to see if you can get a bunch of loot, these time-worn maps are really good to try to add to your map party nights. And these go from level 70 map party, level 80, 90, and 90. So these are going to be in the older zones, or, you know, older than Dawn Trail zones. However, they're still good. You could really get a chunk of change for them in certain cases. So a lot of really good things this time around. Thank you so much for watching, friends. If you are going to participate in the Moogle Treasure Trove, let me know in the comments below. What are you looking for first? What are you trying to get your hands on? And if you like more Final Fantasy XIV news, updates, reviews, hangs, etc., hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It means a lot to me and my channel. I'm on Twitch and YouTube live like almost every single day of the week, sometimes every day of the week. So come hang out. We have a fun time, a little bit of chaos, and a little bit of just fun. So thanks for hanging out, friends. We will see you in game. Bye.